I'm going to show you how I cut patches. David Barfield asked me to show him how, or tell him how I cut patches. I thought it would be easy enough to make a video to do that. Before I do that, I'll show you the templates that I use. This one was made out of a piece of scrap brass, or from a hobby shop, stripped brass. And I cut it with a file and a hacksaw and just snuck up on the exact length I needed. The angle's not real critical. This one's fairly steep. Here's a really nice template that was made for me by Skip Epp, and it's got a nice handle on it and everything. It has a really steep, a really shallow angle for the template. I don't think it works any better or any worse. I don't think the angle's all that critical. Anyway, you can make your own templates if you need to. The other kind of template you need is something to cut strips of paper of a specific width. Here's a 1-inch brass strip. You can buy this at the hobby shop for a couple of bucks. This is 1 inch wide, and I'll make a 1 inch wide patch. But I want to make a narrower patch today, and so to do that, I made my own guide out of a piece of wood, and I glued a piece of brass against the side of it, cut it to be exactly the width that I wanted, which is 7/8 of an inch for today. The paper I'm going to use is Eaton airmail paper. It's no longer made. A lot of people ask me about this paper. It's 9-pound airmail paper, 25% cotton. I've got enough for a couple more years, and then I'll have to go find my own paper. But for tonight, what I'll do is show you how I cut this stuff up into patches. So what I like to do is get about 5 sheets at a time, and these are gummed together at the top, and if I pull them out just right, these 5 sheets will be stuck together by that gumming, which makes it easier for the papers to keep the pages all lined up together. So I lay that on my cutting surface. I line the guide with the back of the paper here that you can't see on the back edge. And then I take my X-Acto knife. You could use a box cutter or a straight edge razor blade or whatever's handy. Good pocket knife if you got a sharp one. And I'm going to cut these 5 sheets into strips. And normally I'd cut all 5 of these pages into about 60 strips of paper. I think I'd get out of this 12 strips per page. Since these are 7/8 of an inch wide. Tonight I'm just going to do 3 of these so I can show you how I make patches. So once I've got all 3 of these laid out, I take those 3 sets of 5 and I stack them all up again on top of each other, and now I'm going to cut the ends to make the finished patch. Lay them out here on the board. I'm going to change the angle a little bit so it's easier for me to cut as a right-hander. Change the angle I lay them out in. And I use the guide here to help align the patches widthwise. It's not so important that they be lined up on the length, but you want the width to be nice and even. Drop the template on top like so. And then I cut the top bevel angle and the bottom one. Just a second here, and if you're good at this, you won't move the template. Cut through all 15 of those like so. And there's 15 patches. Repeat the process for the other half. And rather than try to use this angle that I cut up here at the top of the patch, the top of the strip, for the top angle on the next patch, I'd rather recut that. That way I can have my patches all precisely uniform in length, each one the same. And the length is really, to me, more important than the width. The width, if there's any excess, just gets folded under. The length needs to line up. So let's get these all lined up nicely. For some reason that bottom sheet's giving me a little trouble. Drop the patch cutter on it like so. That gun thing won't line up tonight. Right now I'm doing a video and He's going to give me trouble. Put that on there, like so. We're good to go. Cut these. Do this without the video running, it's a lot easier. Don't make half the mistakes. And cut the back half as well. And there you go, another 15 patches. Total of 30 patches, ready to be wrapped, wet or dry, doesn't matter. That's all it takes.